How'd you find us? You've just tuned in
to Radio U. U for Universe. Are you ready? Hey guys, my name is Ruth. You have joined Tune In Radio U, a place where you can find the right guides to help you navigate the spiritual jungle. We live in a doing society. You feel like you always have to be producing something, producing products, services, attention, affection, giving of yourself, giving of your time, working, exercising, eating, playing, entertaining, doing something, right? Because otherwise you're considered lazy maybe, or you consider yourself lazy, which is way worse. Do you know that you cannot possibly produce the greatest products, services, attention, affection, work, exercise, etc. if you do not allow your body and mind to integrate the work that you've already done so that it can learn and grow effectively? Resting is what helps your body and mind, emotions, spirit to reset, to absorb, integrate, and be more badass than ever before. So when you go and do that thing again, you notice that it may not be a massive improvement, but there is an improvement. You're doing it better than when you did it last time. You've allowed your body to go through the natural processes that it needs to adapt and improve. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you allowed yourself to do absolutely nothing? I'm not even talking meditation here. Just lay there, not watching television, not reading a book, not listening to anything, just nothing. I bet it's been a while. And I can see you freaking out about it as well. It might sound boring or even unnerving not having anything to occupy your brain, but I promise you, your body and your mind will love you for it. Little to no stimulus allows everything to eventually slow down, to not have to be working so hard to process so much information, because it is a lot. The brain processes millions of bits of information every second. So why not give it a break? I promise that once you get over the freak out over nothing to occupy your brain with, you'll feel really peaceful. And do you also know that when you're constantly doing stuff, you're causing your cells to oxidize at a much faster rate? That means that you're making your cells age at a much faster rate. You're getting older faster, man. Why would you want to do that to yourself? The purpose of life is not to continuously be doing shit, although our society will have you think differently. The purpose of life is to live. However that looks like for you, it's going to look different for different people, right? But whatever lights you up, that is what would be a smart thing to pursue in order to live a happy, productive life with plenty of rest in between. Can you imagine doing the thing that lights you up and then resting after? What a life! Oh, but you need to earn lots of money to do that, right? Okay, this actually reminds me of a parable that has a wealthy businessman and a fisherman in it. It goes a little something like this. So, one day, a fisherman is sitting by his boat while playing with his kid on a beautiful beach, his fishing pole just resting against the boat, when a wealthy banker comes walking down the beach, trying to chill out of his, big stressy work day. And he sees the fisherman and he's horrified at the sight of the fisherman wasting the day. And he asks, "Why aren't you out fishing?" And the fisherman looks up and he smiles and he says, "Because I've already caught enough fish for the day." And the banker then says, "So why don't you catch some more fish?" And what would I do with them? You could earn extra money, says the banker. Then with that extra money, you could buy a bigger boat, go into deeper waters, catch more fish. Then you could make enough money to buy a bigger, higher quality nets. And with those nets, you could catch even more fish, make more money. And with that money, you could buy 2 boats, maybe 3 boats. Eventually, you could have a whole fleet of boats and be rich like me. And so the fisherman asks, what would I do then? Then the banker says, you could really enjoy life. And the fisherman looks at the banker and he asks, well, what do you think I'm doing right now? You're like, okay. You might ask, so how often and how long should I rest for? To that, I would tell you your body is pretty clever. Like, if you're aware of your body and all your bodily sensations, you can tell what the body's asking for and when it wants it. And it definitely does talk to you. I guarantee if you haven't noticed up until now, like if you haven't noticed yet, I guarantee your body's been trying to communicate with you for your whole entire life. You just had no idea that it was a thing and that you could even do that. So, that's cool. Like, you're learning about it now, so that's awesome. You can only go up from here, right? But I guarantee you paid attention when your body started yelling at you. Like, for example, when you got sick after everyone else had that particular flu and you had to be caregiver and kept working because stuff needed to get done. Without you, none of it could have been done. So you just had to get going until your body screamed no more, right? Or maybe you started paying attention after you had that heart attack while you were eating your 3rd junk food meal for the day. Or maybe you started paying attention when it got to the end of the hot day and you got a raging headache because you forgot to drink any water. And you might say, but they're extreme cases. I don't want to wait until then to know what my body's asking for. And to that, I would say to you, you don't have to, my friend. The body talks subtly, on a subtle level. It's another language. And if you've never learnt it before, you never heard it before, you would have no idea what it's saying to you, obviously. But here's the thing. The more you rest without distraction, the more you start to get sensitive to that subtle language of the body. And you'll start to notice the quiet sensations that would be otherwise impossible to hear or pay attention to unless you were still and quiet. And the more often you rest, like proper rest with no devices or distractions, the more you will start to become attuned to your body language, and you will know exactly when to drink water or when to breathe deeper or when to meditate or when to write, when to create, when to eat clean, when to rest. The more you practice heeding these particular calls, the louder and more distinct the language becomes. And you'll eventually become fluent. And here's the kicker. You'll start to notice yourself naturally gravitating towards the healthier choices in life. You will feel healthier. You'll feel clearer, more in tune with the flow of life and with your own particular flow of life. Thank you for sticking around and listening to my musings. Wonderful listener that you are. I dedicate this particular episode to my beautiful friend, Nat Scambaluri. She is an artist. She does mandala designs, and I believe she's got something in the works about creating class sessions on how to do mandalas. She does beautiful work. You can probably follow her on Instagram and see exactly what she does at Natalie Scambaluri. Check out the show notes and you can see how that is spelt. But just a shout out to Nat. She's incredible, and she's also a patron of my Patreon subscriber page, which I am supremely grateful for. And if you want to subscribe and become a member and just help a sister out, There are 3 membership tiers you can choose from. From as little as $10 a month, you can support my work, which is this very thing that I'm doing right now. So if you are interested in supporting me, please go to patreon.com/TheFrequencyDJ, all one word. And I will be very appreciative for your support. But otherwise, thanks again for sticking around. I hope that you're doing well. Either way, I'm sending you so much love, sending you beautiful, huge, high vibes and loving frequencies. And I will catch you next time. Peace. Thank you for sticking around and listening to Tune In Radio U. I have very much enjoyed having you here, and I appreciate your support. If you feel called to, feel free to share this episode, like, subscribe, or take one step further and go to patreon.com/TheFrequencyDJ and select a membership tier that resonates with you, and you can support my work and get benefits for doing so. I really appreciate you. Sending you much love, heaps of light. I'll catch you next time.